You know, I turned down playing this game because I wanted to see how the last one ended. But it's okay. My replacement is actually playing the champ I would have played anyway. It's the Aphelios game. It's also going to be Aphelios Alistar against Lucian Senna. In theory, I don't like playing this lane as the Aphelios. You're going up against far too much sustain for you to burst. And their all-in potential outstrips yours by a significant margin. The thing is, as broken as Aphelios is as an ADC, at least in the current state of the game, he has some clear weaknesses, and a select few champions in the game can exploit it. The one people point to all the time is the fact that he has no sustain. Well, not sustain. He has no escapes. He has no viable gap closers. And Lucian can always do skirmishy trades where he just dashes in, gets a double shot, Qs, gets a double shot, walks away. And that is a pattern that comes out far too fast for Aphelios to respawn, and gradually you lose trades doing this. And you can't out-sustain the amount of damage that the Lucian outputs. Lucian kind of does fall off, but Aphelios isn't really like the stellar late game carry anyway. And generally, like assuming the two champs are even, I never put Aphelios as having great odds against Lucian. He really needs time to get some hits in. Like he's like a more traditional ADC in that regard. Like you can't just randomly go in and burst somebody. Maybe you can burst the whole team if you get the perfect BS Inferno Moonlight Vigil, but that is often observed but never practiced. And for the most part, in almost all phases of the game, a Lucian can kill Aphelios pretty easily. Even Aphelios' pistol Q, which is his fastest source of DPS and his fastest source of burst, even that is not nearly enough compared to all of the buttons that Lucian will press in the time that you get your pistol Q complete. I really don't like this matchup as the Aphelios player. And it's not saying that this lane is over. Aphelios Alistar can definitely win this lane. And in fact, it can start now. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, that's a good start, I say. That's a very good start. But there are cases where, you know, Aphelios Alistar, if they get going in this lane, if they get early advantages, which is very, very possible, it's actually surprisingly easy for that to happen, then they can definitely start slapping the Lucian. And if the Lucian's behind, it's over. It's all up to how aggressive the Lucian can play, how many windows he can spot to go in. A skilled Lucian player will be able to spot these and just punish the Aphelios every time he wants to do stuff. But, you know, things like that is always up to debate. Now, the Aphelios here is opting to dump his sniper ammo first. I've tried that route exactly once, and I didn't really like the result. The thing is, you do have decently synergized weapon order if you dump your sniper first. It sounds weird, but it sounds weird to like predict 3 or 4 weapons in advance. That's kind of how it really goes. But meanwhile, Ilaoi grabs a soul. Good trading damage comes out. Yeah, it's kind of how it goes, because after your sniper goes out, you have really decent weapon combos for the rest. So you just kind of start using your weapons in order. So you don't actually change your default weapon queue for a pretty long time. It's funny how that works. But the biggest bonus is the fact that you're really just setting up for early Chakram Sniper by exhausting Sniper first. Which definitely not overhyped. It really is a disgusting combination. Headbutt coming in. The pistol finds 2 hits onto the Senna, but since the nerf, that's not enough damage to kill. First blood coming out from the Alistar. Excellent early advantage. That is the early advantage I was talking about. With these winning trades, if a Lucian falls behind, the lane's over for the Lucian. You can really start just to be bullied around by the Aphelios. If your whole combo gets outstripped in power, you lose. The Senna can't really do much in this matchup, but sustain, sit back, and hope the Lucian doesn't get dicked harder. Meanwhile, top lane, Garen commits the ignite. Harsh Lesson doesn't find the kill, and Garen flashes on and gets a solo kill. Mumu even shows up, but just for moral support. Not even there in time for assist gold. Quite tragic. But Alawi will teleport back to lane. Good tentacle slam, but whips the cannon. However, making up for some lost CS, still holding onto a very healthy CS lead. The death means that there is no phage being bought, which does hurt the ability to pursue kills, but still holding an advantage over the Garen. That's all that matters. And Alawi just wants to bully the lane. And constantly pushing up, constantly shoving Wizard in the tower, denying income. Right up the Alawi playstyle. Right up the alley of the Alawi playstyle, grabbing the ghost, pounding the crap out of it. Garen's not even trying to detach. Tanks like half his health in reflection damage. Not very good at all. Mordekaiser missing his third auto, cancelling it just now, activating his passive. Only gets a few ticks of burn. Diana will escape onto the Amumu, but the Q completely misses the mark. There's no follow-up damage. The Rammus is stranded and has to flash over the wall. Amumu follows as well and gives chase, but he bandage tosses under the tower and he has to walk away before any additional damage is done. Meanwhile, bot lane, Ignite goes down on the Aphelios. He's now being chased down by the Lucian. The star coming out. Senna flashes forward. Lucian double shot finds his mark. Double kill coming out from bot lane. Senna grabs the second, but now Diana sitting in Mordekaiser's passive, having a picnic, and gets dropped. The 2-on-2 on bot lane turning in Lucian's favor. This matchup, man, it can be explosive. Lucian always has a burst potential onto the Aphelios, but it all depends on how far he can be put behind. With that kill and assist, and the fact that he can probably get a plate off this? No, they can't get a plate off this. Oh wait, no, they can, huh? Unless they back off now. They're gonna back off now. No plate? He's not gonna agree for it. Yeah, but that's definitely gave him a bit of extra edge, but here comes the engage. Senna gets rooted under her shroud. Flamethrower comes out. The spread not enough to kill. Canceling 2 autos, I believe, on the Aphelios back there. Swinging the flamethrower around, twirling it like a baton. The snare comes out, but the weapon swap delays him for 1 second, and that's more than enough time for the Aphelios to lose his prey, and Lucian walks away scot-free. Now it's up to the counter push. There will be chakrams being thrown out against the minions. However, this is not the fastest way to push a lane, I will add. And now, we have flamethrowers being thrown against the tower. Demolish proc is up, but they're not interested in it. They're going to go for a dive. The chakram follows Lucian to next Tuesday and kills him far behind this tower. I can't talk, what the heck. Ignore that verbal diarrhea. And now, Diana, mid lane, just freshly solo killed by the Mordekaiser. Being pulled back and slammed. These claw dodges have not been stellar and is costing her a lot of health. Once again, no potions to speak of in either player's inventory. But this benefits the Morde way more. Mordekaiser can constantly damage and eat his shield, and he's a resourceless champion. So Diana not having potions in this lane definitely hurts her sustain as well. He needs to drop the turret. The Aphelios needs to drop the turret to help with the DPS. He gets the turret off, but a little bit too late. The Calibrum does not actually find the mark. It does find the mark onto Lucian, but it was not detonated in time. The Sniper Chakram combo has come online. Now the very important part is to drain the Chakram before the Sniper, or the next trade is going to be super awkward. The Hex Smash coming in from the Alistar. Very good, actually getting consuming the marks, getting some more Chakrams. Now the Chakram, you really should be walking up so much more further up in order to get it, but here comes the Senna. For the most part, it doesn't really matter what weapon, the weapon order. You don't need to keep that in mind. It's not like more optimal or anything. You can definitely make use of basically any weapon combination in the game, but you do need to switch your pistol now to win that trade. Senna grabs a kill. Here comes the Rammus rolling down for a gank. 3-man ganking a Scuttle Crab. Illaoi spots them, but gets pushed back. She gets kidnapped into the Death Realm. All the tentacles stay dormant. And now Mordekaiser gets to slap this Illaoi. Illaoi's very alone in the Death Realm and gets dropped by the Mordekaiser. There are no tentacles left to help her in the Shadow Realm. And Mordekaiser picks up that kill. Now a 3-man push coming out from top lane. Bot lane grabs the turret. Here comes the Rammus. The taunt goes down onto the Lucian. He calls back. Defensive ball curl, not enough to save the Rammus. But here comes Diana. Moonfall hitting the solid damage. The Q flies far, but the passives and auto will finish the Lucian off. And it's just a cannon against the Senna. The pistol doesn't interrupt the damage, but the Alistar will clean up the kill. Herald gets dropped top. Nobody's even close to assist. That is going to be so many plates. The Herald might not be enough to kill this turret. But damn, do they just rack up a ton of income off that. And the Illaoi, despite the CS lead, now 0-2 against the 1-0-1 Garen. Very far behind. 500 gold lead is the Garen sitting at. And the harsh lesson. No tentacles, no damage. Illaoi still camping top lane, but there's an Amumu skulking in the brush still. Question mark pings coming out to him from his own team. He's definitely not supposed to be there. Garen's getting pushed around by a cow. And here comes the Illaoi. There's no ultimate yet, but she grabs the Garen's soul and starts pounding it to deal additional damage to him from safe range. The harsh lesson and the tentacle whip flies down just in time as the spirit expires, so Garen does not take additional damage. Covering mid Rammus, but here comes Diana. Diana is back. The Q misses his mark. There's no follow-up Lunar Rush, and Rammus burns to the Mordekaiser passive, and now Diana getting slowly walked over by the Mordekaiser, losing that trade and had to back off. That is far too many missed Qs for the Diana. And here comes the cow. The second person has come to help. Flash pulverized, but there is no headbutt back. The stun, the headbutt, he is back. The Lunar Rush, the Moonfall, the damage combo comes down for the shutdown. Mordekaiser gets his first death after 3 kills. The Aphelios still pressing into this tower, lonely as all hell, but the Amumu is here. Illaoi does have ultimate. She is silenced. She has the true damage. The true damage sword does not drop in time. Illaoi cleans it up. But the harsh lesson does not find a kill. There is no tentacle near her. She flashes in and gives up a kill to Garen. The flamethrower spray does not find the correct target. Alistar is burning down. He will pop the ultimate to stay alive. Aphelios is below half health. Senna comes in. Moonlight Vigil scores the field goal. And here comes the Alistar back into the fray. Senna pops her stopwatch to stay alive. Aphelios flashes away from the snare. But Lucian drops to the Rammus, slowly sticking on top of him. The sweeper finds Senna in the alcove, and she dies to a single Aphelios cannon shot. Turning around this bot lane, Alistar escapes with just a fragment of his health. But now bot lane is a bit too low to convert onto the dragon, and the Mumu is nearby. This is going to be a very tricky dragon fight, so they opt to not take it and go elsewhere. Rammus will now clean up his second set of buffs that has just now respawned. This is their third set of buffs that have just now respawned. And now, the fight continues at mid lane. The Alistar roams to mid, scaring off the Mordekaiser. But the Mumu, he has other ideas. He wants this Drake, but Alistar spots him. Will he do a flash over? He will Hex Flash, but he's alone. He does not find a target, but he's still pursuing. Moby Boost, headbutting him away. There's no Power Rise coming out. He needs to run now. There's 4 people coming for him. He still has no Hex Flash. He Hex Flash over. And that is free beef for dinner. The failed engage onto Dragon, allowing a Mumu and 4 friends, well, 3 friends to come down. Shutdown coming out from top lane. A solo kill has happened. Apparently it's not important enough to watch. Moonfall drags Senna back. The explosion is not enough to kill, but the ignite is. The Calibrum not outputting enough damage, but the crits are mounting onto a Mumu. There is Crescendum, but the turret gets dropped out of range. There's not going to be any follow-up. Moonlight Vigil coming up in just 4 seconds. If he lands on either of those, the Chakrams is enough to kill. Will he throw it out? Will he throw out the Moonlight Vigil? He must recognize this is more than enough damage. He must do it. He hits it onto the Lucian. Lucian heals, but the crit from the Chakram barely enough to take the kill. To not take the kill, I mean. And Lucian recalls. Blowing the heal with the Moonlight Vigil. Net positive trade coming out from the Aphelios. And now Diana comes back. The Q once again misses his mark for the 4th time. Mordekaiser pulls the Diana into the Death Realm. Lunar Rush will not be enough to save the Diana. The Giant Mace claims the solo kill in the Death Realm. Now Alistar really has to run for the hills. The Senna cannon finds a kill from across the map, taking it away. And now Garen, out health, running with his sword up. Cannot find the mark, but the second tentacle spawns behind him. The first one slaps him once more before fading away into the grave. However, mid-turret has seen his final days as blue team loses their tier 1 tower. Now Garen recalls on a fragment of his life. But multiple man rotations coming out to top lane. Red T1 drops on top lane, but they really have to run. Blue buff is still alive. It is sitting at 1300. Rammus is fighting alone as of now. Power Rise coming down onto the Mordekaiser. Amumu out drops. The Chakrams are coming out, but the Aphelios gets pulled in by the Mordekaiser. He is eating so much damage. The passive kills him off. The Moonfall grabs 2 kills in retaliation. It is a 3-for-2 trade in favor of Red Team. And all meanwhile, Blue bot T1 also falls. Towers are now being traded left and right, although Red Team picked up 2 in very quick succession. And they picked up more critical ones in mid and bot. And now Lucian, walking away with his gold lining his pockets, will go back to base and spend about 1200 gold on some luxury items, such as, we'll see what he buys. Maybe a pink, maybe a blue orb. You never know. Will he actually buy those items though? Remains to be seen. And now Chakram farming out the Raptors. There's very poor AoE damage coming out from these 2 weapons, and the cannon is definitely not doing any favors either. It's gonna be a pretty slow Raptor take. You do need Runance for situations like these. Runance is, I cannot stress this enough, Runance is core on Aphelios. It's not okay to ever skip it. It's like Jinx, but so much more important than Jinx. Now, Mordekaiser Protobos in, clips the Aphelios, but doesn't do anything else aside from that. Lucian has made his way top lane, but Alawi is 3 levels above him. What can he do? Red Team will secure their second Rift Herald, the much stronger one, the much more terrifying one, and it's now up to Blue Team to respond when it inevitably drops, because that baby will kill turrets from full. Like it's nobody's business. Now Diana lands a Q, but probably much more than she bargained for. Mordekaiser chases her down. The first ultimate does not land. It breaks vision. He flashes forward and maces down anyway. Does not commit the Death Realm after all. The QSS tax is going to be rolling in pretty soon. That is a fed Mordekaiser. But Death Realm, critically, still up. The first cast was cancelled by breaking vision. And now the Herald has come mid. But 3 members of Blue Team, mid T2, standing ready to defend. Will they actually stop this in time? The headbutt onto Shelly. That's not how it works. You can't interrupt it like that. 3-man Power Rise, getting the Alistar out safely for now. But he will still drop. Senna cannon blast back Blue Team. 2 members drop in quick succession. And that's going to be the end of that tower. But the Herald stays dead. That is the critical part. The cannon shots are being shot out from the glaive. The root comes down onto the Garen. Not much more aside from that. Diana walks a little bit too far forward, gets silenced and clipped down by the damage combo. Alawi slowly waddling her way into the fight. Now Senna soloing out the Aphelios with superior range and minor bursts from the Q. The ultimate only creates 2 tentacles, no harsh lesson coming out. And that is going to be 1 more kill being thrown over to Blue Team, being thrown over to Red Team side. Overall, 5 for 1, I believe. The only person that died was the Senna. But the fight was pretty extended. It took such a long time that everybody that died early had to respawn. Now Ocean Rift, name of the game. The dream would be, of course, 4 Ocean Drakes, but I don't think the game's gonna last that long at this point in time. Garen spinning on the Rammus, doing absolutely no damage, but there is no taunt coming out. And Garen will speed up and walk away. Diana wave clears, and Rammus takes it with a single tick of bombies. Now, the entire jungle gets darker than usual. Will they adapt to this situation? Additional brushes does certainly favor Red Team. They love to jump out of the bushes and catch people. That could also be the name of the game for blue team, but I don't think the Rammus Diana Alistar pick core is strong enough to be online yet. Compared to the scary amount of output that the silencing Garen and the Mordekaiser can provide, when they hide in the brush, you just have no access to your jungle. So much of your map gets closed off. But the expanded brushes can be a blessing and a curse to both teams. I hate Carl spinning in onto the Aphelios. He actually flashed forward, think he could get that kill, but a little bit of wishful thinking. He's actually working on his Deathman's Plate instead of his Phantom Dancer, which is quite interesting. He seems to have a drastic need of armor, although I don't know from what source. I don't think the Alawi is enough to justify that, and the Aphelios is certainly not strong enough to threaten the Garen. But here comes the Alawi, the Tesla face, not enough, just barely clipping by, and Mordekaiser kidnaps Rammus into the death realm. It will get rapidly burned down. Aphelios now sitting in the middle of the Mordekaiser AoE. The cannon blasts him down from a million range away. Amumu pops the ultimate to sweep up the survivors. It's just to support Alistar. He's far too lonely, far too weak. Can he survive here? He has to flash out. Oh, he gets found in the corner, and there's nowhere to go. Clean 5-0 ace coming out from blue team. The inhibitor is now the next target, and red team positioning near Baron, but they're gonna recall right outside the pit. Not going to choose to do it. No, they will choose to do it, but Lucian has already recalled. What a weird timing that is. But blue team must know that this is happening. They're gonna opt to give it away, which is the correct call in this situation. Too far behind to try to go for it. If only they knew. If only they knew that this is such a scuffed Baron attempt. Now their jungler's too low, but with additional backup maybe, but they call it off. That's not the correct way to Baron. There was actually a surrender roll coming out from red team. What the heck? Some shenanigans had happened in this game. Oh! Garen and Alistar briefly rub shoulders. Now both will turn tail and run towards the blue team base. Garen gets headbutted away, but the Senna riding on the mist, coming in with some Mordekaiser support. Diana gets pulled back, instantly deleted, but here comes the Alawi, gets kidnapped into the Death Realm. There are no tentacles in the Death Realm. She's sitting on top of Mordekaiser, not able to do anything in this fight. And now Rammus, the next victim. They're being rolled over one at a time. Giant scary metal man just walking his way down, passive burning away the Alistar. Triple kill coming in. Flash nailing the Aphelios with the claw. Quadra kill from the damn near unstoppable Mordekaiser. This game is over. This Mordekaiser is so obscenely strong. He built Nashor's Tooth for additional damage. He just does not. He just has no regard for life and sanctity. The blue Nexus exposed, naked in the sun. There will be no further contest. Mordekaiser crushing through.